Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Google and that's Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. Gentlemen, we're just gonna dive right on in and get the show rolling. We're gonna start off with SmackDown live as usual, and here we go. So, SmackDown live held last night, and here is the breakdown. We started off with one-on-one match, Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. Match gets thrown out, no contest in 9 minutes. Look, it was a good match until the ending. Unfortunately, it was Io Sky and Damage Control coming out, and they did a number on the women. Basically showing that they are united, they are a united front, and everything else. And well, it is what it is, and it was very unfortunate. Um, I think the match, you know, for this, I get why they did it. It was a storyline purpose ending to the match. I wish they could have gone a little more better than what they did, but it is what it is. Um, Normally, under these rules, we would say automatic NA, but there is enough meat on this bone that I'm willing to give this 2.5 stars. Normally, this would be around a 3 level, but because of the no contest, I am gonna penalize this a half a point. So I'm only giving it 2.5 stars. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
Makes sense to me, MF. That's exactly what I was going to do on that. So, 3-star match, yes, but we got to bump it down to 2.5 because of the no contest there. Darn shame too, because it was getting going there, but nonetheless, just give me a moment here. All right. This was a solid, if unspectacular, way to reintroduce Damage Control as a united front and a threat to every other woman on the roster. Michael Cole pointing out that Bayley walked around the locker room saying, "We are the WWE Women's Champion," continues to hint at the inevitable moment that Sky breaks free of her partnership. The aforementioned Damage Control interrupted the match, momentarily distracting Charlotte, but not enough to cost her the match. And Damage Control attacked Flair and Asuka, and the heels stood tall to close out the segment. It's a 2.5-star match, only because of the no contest finish. Even though overall it was a 3, I'm completely with MF on this one. So there isn't much more to say here. Phenom, Michael Bullock, come on in. No contest after an even 9 minutes. Damage Control taking out both Charlotte and Asuka.
Yeah, I'm with you guys here. I'm gonna give this. I mean, the match itself is a 3-star match, but it's a 2.5 star because of the no contest. I mean, it's a damn shame. I mean, it was getting good until, like you said, Damage Control attacked both Asuka and Charlotte. They're basically sending a message saying, "Hey, we run SmackDown just like." Over on Monday Night Raw, where Judgment Day run Monday Night Raw, and Bayley basically saying, "We are the WWE Women's Champion," and that's going to get Io Sky upset to the point that, hey, wait a minute, I'm the one who cashed in Money in the Bank. I'm the one who won it, and you're saying you want a piece of this too? No, I won it. And I'm not going to take orders from you anymore. So I think, we'll see it happen eventually. When? I really do not know. So 3 stars overall, but it's a 2.5-star match because of the no contest. So it's yours, Fletch.
All right. So here we go. The next match on the fight card, AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross, and the phenomenal AJ Styles winning the match in 9 minutes and 49 seconds. Anthony Florio, Big win for the phenomenal one.
Absolutely a big win for the phenomenal one, no doubt about it. But I gotta tell it like it is here. The uninspired feud between AJ Styles and Karrion Kross ended not with a bang, but a whimper last night in a match that never really clicked for me. The action was at times disjointed, and the competitors failed to create much in the way of in-ring chemistry. From day one, this felt like a consolation feud for Styles and Kross, two guys who had nothing else better to do but had earned television time. Unfortunately, this feud did little to enhance or advance either stature on the show, and if this really is the end of the rivalry, its greatest contribution is likely to be the internet gifs of the aforementioned spot involving Michin and Scarlett. Both AJ Styles and Karrion Kross are better than that and capable of more. Kross powered Styles down with a Death Valley driver into the announce table for a good, that took it up to, I believe that took it up to a break there or something. Entering the break, yep. Scarlett got involved, placing Kross's foot on the ropes and preventing a loss following a springboard 450 splash. Michin attempted to wipe her out but failed, allowing Kross to take advantage. Michin tossed Scarlett like a rag doll across the announce table, and Styles finished Kross with a Styles Clash for the win. So this was about, the best I could give this would probably be a solid 3. I think that's the best I could give this. So there isn't much more for me to add on to this. So Michael Bullock, AJ Styles gets over on Karrion Kross, and I'm hopeful that this will be hopefully both men can move on to better things.
Yeah, I'm actually, like you said, this, to me, I think this rivalry has done nothing for either one of them. And AJ Styles, he's one of the best out there in WWE, and this is the kind of feud that he has to deal with here. I really hope now that he can move on to bigger and better things after this, and hopefully that this is it. So, yeah, and I'm with Florio. To me, this rivalry ended with a whimper. I don't really think it did much for any of them. So, yeah. So, I'm going to give this 2.5 stars. It's yours, Fletch.
Partial disagreement. I'm giving it the 3 that Florio initially gave it. I thought it was a solid match. I thought it was a fine fight. I thought it could have been better in certain elements. I think I'll agree with that. I think that at the end of the day, I think it served its purpose more than anything else. So yeah, was it perfect? No, but in a way, it didn't have to be perfect. It was a fine match. If this is the end of the series, fine. I'm not too mad about it. But we did get the outcome that was necessary. So let's just move right on along. Next up, we had was LA Knight versus Top Dollar. LA Knight winning the match in 1 minute and 52 seconds. We're not talking about this one. We're gonna let this one go. And then the next match we had was, it was gonna be Austin Theory versus Santos Escobar, but throughout the night, Theory was attacking Escobar, and he got him right at the rampway, and thus Santos was medically unfit to compete. Theory gloating over the fact that, that means he's not going to be able to fight for the title. Adam Pearce objected and said, no, you're still going to put your title on the line, but you're not going to fight Santos Escobar. You're going to fight Rey Mysterio, fellow LWO member Rey Mysterio. So Mysterio gets the shot. The winner of the bout, 10 minutes and 25 seconds. And no! United States Heavyweight Champion Rey Mysterio! History made, unprecedented crowning. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
like you said, Fletch, history was made last night, and for the Hall of Famer, it's another championship added to his historic resume. Another United States championship for him, and I'll give this about 3.25 stars on this one. Yeah, what a moment for Ray, and I'm pretty sure for Ray that this was a little bittersweet for him. Yes, he's happy he's won it, but he almost felt like that this should have been the moment for Santos Escobar, because he was the one that fought hard to get to earn this opportunity, only to have it taken away. But then I hate to say this to you, Fletch, about Austin Theory, then that gutless yellow coward known as Austin Theory. And Florio, you want to know why Theory did what he did to Santos Escobar?
Because deep down he knows that he can't beat Santos Escobar 1-on-1. Can you argue that point? Hell no, you can't.
Oh, I certainly ain't gonna argue the point, unless Fletch wants to, but I doubt that too. So, but yeah, what a moment for Ray, and let me tell you something, fellas. Can you imagine what Dominic Mysterio probably is thinking right now after seeing his father win another title?
Oh, he's probably furious right now. And remember, you know what? I'll even say this. Which title is more prestigious? U.S. Heavyweight Championship or the North American title?
U.S.
I think we can all agree the United States Heavyweight Championship has more lore, more of an impactful thing in wrestling than the North American title.
It's not even a debate. The United States Championship all the way. Think of all the great wrestlers that have held that United States Championship.
Harley Race, the first champion.
Yeah, Harley Race, the very first one.
1975.
John Cena, the Big Show. So many great names. It would take all night for me to go through all the names. So, and if Dominic Mysterio thinks that his title is more prestigious than the United States Championship, boy, you certainly are a senile young man. So, yeah. So there's really nothing more for me to say. End of story. End of discussion. Congratulations, Rey Mysterio. It's yours, Fletch. As Austin Theory's reign ends, I think from what I read, it's 258 days.
Yes, and I do believe Anthony Florio will confirm that in just a matter of minutes. I'm pretty sure it is 258 as well. However, if you're Rey Mysterio, it is a bittersweet moment. Yes, you're happy, you're proud, you made history. You're once again the United States Heavyweight Champion. And as a matter of fact, I think this is his third time as U.S. Heavyweight Champion. But it's been a long road for Ray. Hall of Fame career, one of the greatest luchadors of our generation. Like I said, if you want to put the argument that he's the greatest of all time in luchadors, you could even make an argument for that. Like I said, mine personally was Mil Mascaras. And I got so many other names in wrestling that I can go through that could take all night. Not going to do it. But Ray winning the title is awesome. But you do feel for Santos Escobar. You kind of feel like, man, this is his moment. That should have been his moment. This was his dream. He won. He won the tournament. He beat Ray in that tournament final. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, but Ray never got a fair shake. He got injured in the tournament. Could he have truly beaten Santos if it was a straight up one-on-one? I don't know. That's an easy debate that you could make where maybe Ray was deserving of that moment, because what if he didn't get hurt? What if the match did not end the way that it did the first time around? We don't know. But I truly believe that if Ray is, and I know Ray is a man of his word, is a man, and I know Ray would gladly say, you deserve a shot. I'm going to let you fight for this belt first. I believe that once he lets Santos get fully healthy, and hopefully it's just a minor injury and not severe, but I think Santos and Ray are going to fight for this title. And I do believe at the earliest possible convenience, maybe SmackDown. I don't know about next week. Let's see how Santos feels. But if Santos is good, I say let them fight next week. But again, we don't know the severity of the injury. We don't know how bad Santos got hurt because of Theory. Theory's going to ask for a rematch. Santos deserves a shot at the belt. And Ray, I think, is going to be a fighting champion. So we'll see how this plays out. But my goodness, what a turn of events, to say the very least. A lot of people was hoping for Santos to be the champion. Well, you got Rey Mysterio. I think that brings more credibility because Rey is A, Hall of Famer, B, knows the United States title really well, and then C, it fits the narrative for what Fox is looking for. That Latin American champion that they can have right now in the company. WWE just gave the Fox network Rey freaking Mysterio as their champion. I don't think it gets any better than this. I don't. So, nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it is yours. It's a 3 to 3.5 stars. Rey Mysterio, nuevo campeón de los Estados Unidos.
Huh? No. I was gonna go for the ¿qué? But no. But I get what you were going from, MF. That was awesome. I don't even know how I'm gonna follow that, but in one of the words of Ben Stein, I shall do my best. What was that time of the fall again? Did I hear 12:57? Was that correct?
Yes.
I was right. Okay. 3-time winner of the U.S. title. What did you call that earlier, Monsoon? Three-peat? Is that what you called it?
It is a three-peat. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
He three-peated.
Three-peated. Haha. Okay. So that's a WrestleMania 6 moment right there, folks. Anyways, let's see. 3.25, 3.5. I mean, after 2 weeks of building to Austin Theory defending his United States Heavyweight Championship against Santos Escobar, WWE Creative did an about face and booked an injury angle that took the latter out of the title bout and replaced him with Rey Mysterio. What ensued was another legendary victory for Mysterio as he ended Theory's lengthy run at, yes, as Michael Bullock and as MF alluded to, I can confirm it is 258 days. Which, by the way, gentlemen, was the third longest in the company right now. Only Gunther and, of course, Roman are ahead of him. But other than that, there you go. The question from here is not what is next for Theory, but rather how Escobar will react to Rey jumping over him to win the title. Initially, he was congratulatory and respectful to his mentor and friend. But what happens when envy sets in and he becomes resentful that his replacement won a title that he had so hoped to attain? That is a simple story and one that WWE Creative can milk in the coming weeks before paying off at the appropriate time. Theory jumped Escobar backstage, then on his way to the ring, only to find out that Adam Pearce replaced the LWO competitor with Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. It was the most ass-backward plan by a heel on this entire show. Mysterio targeted the back, ultimately costing Theory the ability to deliver A-Town down. The 619 and top rope splash earned the legendary Luchador the victory and the United States Heavyweight Championship. LWO meeting Mysterio on the ramp to congratulate him with Escobar on one crutch as he nursed his knee injury was interesting. Could it foreshadow a split out of jealousy? MF, I got to pull the Jesse Ventura here. I smell a rat. I really do. So, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens on that. But nonetheless, it's a 3.25 to 3.5 star bout on this one. And You could certainly make an argument for Fight of the Night honors if you really wanted to. I mean, it was definitely worthy of the honor. And, what else? It's a great moment. It's an exciting moment. I mean, the fans of Calgary at the Saddle Dome last night, they got a big moment there with Ray winning the title. But I'm one of those few who feel for Santos Escobar. I mean, that should have been his moment, to be honest with you. And initially, when I saw the injury angle, at first I thought, hey, is this possibly a chance for Theory to run his mouth saying, I took him out, nobody's there? And I thought this was possibly going to be a moment maybe for LA Knight here. But obviously that's not the case. I mean, you had to think about that. I mean, the thought ran through my mind. I'm like, could this be a moment? Could this be the moment where the mega push of LA Knight begins here? That would have been a perfect way to do it. But, it is what it is. And like I reported, Fox wanted a Latino babyface champion, and they got one. And they got perhaps the greatest of them all, Rey Mysterio, who just went into the Hall of Fame this year and now adds another accolade, a third United States Heavyweight Championship to his resume. But like I said, I smell a rat. Something's going to happen. I smell a heel turn coming.
Oh, yeah.
So Payback, maybe the Payback pay-per-view at the earliest. That's a few weeks away. So, we're just going to have to wait and see on it. But nonetheless, Fight of the Night here, 3.25, 3.5 stars. Congratulations, Rey Mysterio. But in all honesty, MF, that should have been Escobar's moment.
I agree. I think we all are feeling that sentiment that it should have been Santos. I understand why they did it. I don't have any issue with them doing it that way. So yeah, like you said, it should have been Santos Escobar. Santos should have gotten the title shot. He should have won it all. But at the end of the day, sometimes things go according to plan, and sometimes plans go a little awry. So I'm cool with it. I don't think there's much anger or anything about it. So I'm happy. Nothing more to say. Here we go. Main event segment was the Bloodline. Of course, Roman came out. Then we had, of course, with Solo and with Paul Heyman. Jimmy came out. Jay came out, and basically everything just exploded. Basically, with everything that went down, Jay stood tall, but then he said something that caught us off guard, and we kind of are wondering, what the hell does that mean? Jay basically, because what happened was, Jimmy left the ring. Roman got in and started talking a whole bunch of junk to Jay. Then he basically super kicked Roman. Solo jumped him. He got the upper hand on him. Super kicked Solo, so he's out. Then Jay basically tells Jimmy, yo, come on back. Let's iron this out. Nope. Jay blasts Jimmy with a super kick of his own, and then basically said, he's like, I'm out of the Bloodline, I'm out of Smackdown, and I'm out of the WWE. Ooses, deuces, out. What the hell does that mean? Whoa. That caught everybody off guard. I was stunned. Florio was stunned. Bullock was stunned. We all are kind of trying to wonder, what does this mean? I think Jay's about to take a vacation. Jay's going to take some time off. I don't know if he's got a movie lined up. I don't know if he just needs something with the fam. But he's taking some time away. I don't mind. Jay, take all the time you need. Enjoy your little siesta, whatever you're doing. WWE's already making it clear that he's gone. They already put his profile in the alumni section. So WWE is playing it like, bye. We just saw the last of Jey Uso. He's not coming back. We know he's coming back at some point. When? We don't know. I wish we would like to know. I wish we get an answer. Because right now, we're all kind of wondering, what the hell did that mean last night? Then there was that crazy thing that, like, there's a no-compete clause, and it's going to be, and, you know, if he's no-compete, he could come back. The no-compete leaves him 5 days out of All In London at Wembley. Let's end this right now. He's not going to AEW. Anybody who starts that rumor, you're dumb as bricks. Jey Uso is not going anywhere. You know, he probably is coming back to WWE. You know, there was a rumor about that the contract is running out. No. He's way too valuable to WWE. He's way too valuable for the company, way too valuable on the storyline. The main event, Jey is going to get a monster push. I know a lot of people thinking that it might be Cody Rhodes ending the story and everything else, and realizing no. After what I've been seeing, I think Jey Uso might be the one to end Roman's reign at WrestleMania. I'm calling it now. I think Jey wins the Rumble. I think Jey goes after Roman. And in the Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial in Philly, I think it's Jey Uso that becomes the new WWE champion, and he takes it all on Roman Reigns. Now, I know a lot of people say that it's going to be that Cody should get the moment. No, Cody will get a moment, but he's going to become the World Heavyweight Champion. I think Cody takes out Seth Rollins, and actually, no. I think he takes out Damian Priest, because I think Priest cashes in Money in the Bank. Priest gets the belt, and then Cody takes him out to become the World Heavyweight Champion. So, a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of things can go differently, but I'm just putting bold predictions out right now. So, nothing more to say. Crazy ending, amazing bloodline story. I know a lot of people were pissed at the way SummerSlam ended. WWE mea culpa. They know they messed up, and now they gave us a chapter that sunk our teeth right back in it. So we're like, why did you do that? This is why they did it. Smart WWE booking. Well done, Hunter. Well done, boys. You got us. We were mad. We were pissed. We were fuming. We had the pitchfork and the tiki torches out asking for your butts. Tiki torches and pitchforks have been put away. They're back in the shed. You got nothing to worry about, boys. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. Florio, it's yours.
Again, I say, how do I follow that? I don't know. I shall do my best once again. It was of the utmost importance that WWE adequately explained Jimmy Uso's shocking betrayal of Jey at SummerSlam last night on Smackdown, and it did just that for the most part. Jimmy explained what being the tribal chief did to Roman Reigns, how it corrupted him, and he wanted to save his brother from that. It was an interesting, unexpected explanation, and one that was much more interesting and easy to digest than the tired jealousy story. That does not mean Jey accepted it, and he definitely did not. Creating intrigue and crafting, and let me tell you something. The right-hand man, he blasted his brother with a super kick before walking out of the show and on WWE, leaving more questions than answers about his status. Creating intrigue and crafting a quality cliffhanger will help buy WWE time as it figures out where the story goes from here. The reaction for Jey as he walked out Friday night suggests he was not hurt by the SummerSlam loss, and if anything, looks like he is going to be a force within WWE moving forward here in 2023. And Heyman, he said, my tribal chief, I spoke with Jimmy this morning, and he was rather salty with me. And Roman told Jimmy, let's be real about it. I owe you one. And then Jimmy responded saying, what I did at SummerSlam's got nothing to do with you. And Jey said, I'm about to throw 37 years down the drain right now if you don't tell me why you did it. And then Jimmy claimed he saved Jey from the corrupting power of the tribal chief and from being a lying, manipulative a-hole like Roman Reigns. He dropped an a-hole bomb on live network television. That's not PG. No, it's not. And then we brought back an old Attitude Era favorite, the McMagma chant from back in the day, the a-hole chants. Oh boy, that brought back some memories. No question about it. And then Jay laid out Roman with a spear, rocked Jimmy with a super kick, and proclaimed, "I'm out of the bloodline. I'm out of SmackDown. I'm out of WWE. Deuces, ooses." And Michael Bullock and I came across more Michael Bullock. A little after high noon this afternoon, Michael Bullock came across a dirt sheet stating that Jey Uso's contract runs out this month. And, what does that possibly mean? That's definitely something to think about. And a lot of bold predictions from MF there. Those are very bold predictions, to say the very least. You never know. I mean, those that could go down exactly as MF just said, or it may not. I don't know. But, we're going to have to wait and find out. But that dirt sheet that came out, that, Bullock called me up just after 12 noon this afternoon and informed me of this. And it's definitely something that definitely needs to be addressed here tonight. And I told Bullock, yeah, I'm right there with you. So whoever has the opportunity to set the table for that, we got to set the table for it. And so I'm going to set the table right here and right now. So, of course, it was, Sean Ross Sapp who reported it. And, it's definitely something that, we definitely have to keep an eye on going forward. But there is no question about it. That another segment of the night moment for the Bloodline. I mean, how many of those have they had, going back to late last year and throughout this entire year? They have definitely given us a segment of the night almost week in, week out, month in, month out. The story. So, we're definitely going to have to, like I said, keep an eye on this. And, if anything does come up, we will certainly, we'll definitely address it when the time is right. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye out. So there isn't, I don't know what else there is left to say here except segment of the night, no question about it. And Michael Bullock, last night we had an abbreviated Smackdown chat last night, and we were caught off guard by Jay saying, "I'm out of WWE," and then you found that dirt sheet, right around noontime today, and you called me up, you told me about it, and it's definitely something that needed to be addressed, and here you go. I set the table for it, so not much more to say. Segment of the night, Michael Bullock, come on in, and what about that dirt sheet that you found around noon today?
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw it. Well, first off, this was the segment of the night. I mean, like you said, everything you guys said was spot on. I mean, we were all caught off guard when Jey Uso said, "I'm out of the Bloodline, I'm out of SmackDown, and I'm out of the WWE. Ooses deuces." And I'm like thinking, what does he mean by that? Is he really leaving WWE? And then when I saw the dirt sheet, I'm like, so maybe that could be the reason why, because of his contract being up. But Fletch basically said everything like that. Basically, maybe put the kibosh out on everything with what he said, and I just don't see him leaving WWE. I think maybe he's going to take some time off, and and then maybe we'll see him back sometime before the year's up. But with this, there's going to be some people who are going to start some rumors that saying maybe he's going to go to AEW. I don't want to hear those rumors either, but there's going to be some out there, including one that we used to know, and that's all I'll say on that. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say except a shocking way to close out this edition of Friday Night SmackDown. So with that being said, Fletch, let's get into our overall thoughts on this edition of Friday Night SmackDown.
It starts off with Anthony Florio.
This was an interesting show with some head-scratching creative decisions and an overall lack of obvious direction outside of the bloodline stuff. Let's not forget, there was another quality segment earlier in that show. What about that segment with Edge and Sheamus? Let's not forget that. I mean, that was the second best segment of the night. And I bring that up because Edge versus Sheamus is going to be great, and their exchange was a lot of fun. It was nice to see Damage Control heat back up, and WWE finally appears to be in on LA Knight. The booking of the U.S. title match and the decision to put Rey Mysterio over Austin Theory was certainly a decision. Unless there are plans for Santos Escobar and or LWO to become distrusting of Mysterio, it is difficult to foresee a reason that he would have undergone an injury angle just to get Rey into the match instead. Hopefully, with Payback coming on September 2nd, WWE rediscovers because this one lacked the spark that had become synonymous with the company's TV of late. So the best I could go for this, I probably would say somewhere between 7, maybe 7.5 at the absolute best. But, the Rey and Theory was the fight of the night. Second best fight was Styles and Cross. And then the third best was Charlotte and Asuka. 3 solid matches there. You had that great Bloodline segment and that equally great Edge and Sheamus segment. So more positives than negatives, even though there were some head-scratching creative decisions. So 7 to 7.5, I believe that is the correct rating for last night's show from the Saddle Dome in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So not much more for us to say. Michael Bullock, 7.5 for me. And next week in Toronto, we got Edge and Sheamus to look forward to next week, along with the 25-year anniversary celebration for the Rated R Superstar Edge.
And my hope and plea for this one, because this is 25 years, I hope for one night only they bring back Tony Chimmel so he can introduce Edge. Because let's be honest, guys, nobody introduces Edge better than Tony Chimmel. Go ahead.
I would venture a guess that you might get your wish. I think I would think WWE could do it. I would like to see WWE do it, and I really think we might get that. Remember, he did get that special moment at the Hall of Fame when Ben Phoenix kind of honored him with that and let Tony Chimmel do that. So I would venture a guess. Why not?
Yeah, I hope they do that because, I mean, like I said, nobody introduced him better than Tony Chimmel. And if they don't do that, that would be a big mistake on the part of WWE. I mean,
it'd be an atrocity.
Correct on that?
It would be an atrocity, Bullock.
Exactly. It would be an atrocity if they screw up on this one. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Edge and Sheamus, that should be something real good here. So yeah, so as far as this week's SmackDown, I'm gonna give it about a 7 out of 10. You basically said everything, Florio. So Fletch, quick thought, and then we get into tonight's edition of AEW Saturday Collision.
Yes, indeed. Look, I thought it was a solid show. I thought it was a really good battle. I thought it was all right. Yeah, 7.5. I think that's the correct rating. It was a lot better than the last few episodes. I'll say that. And I think we got ourselves some very interesting things to play out. So we'll see how it plays out down the line. AEW Collision, we started it off with a match as it was the Acclaim versus the Iron Savages. Acclaim winning the match in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Solid opener, about maybe 2.5 to 3. It wasn't anything that was crazy or over the top. It was still fun matches, fun fight. I think it was good in certain areas. Could have been better in others, but I think they did a really good job with it. So solid opener, Anthony. It's yours. Acclaim looked pretty good.
And of course, let's not forget, um, you know, last night's SmackDown was at a venue that I hold very near and dear to my heart, the Saddle Dome in Calgary. Whereas tonight, AEW Collision was at a venue that holds a special place in MF's heart, the legendary Greensboro Coliseum, Greensboro, North Carolina, ACC basketball country that's hosted the ACC tournament. And MF has given us plenty of screaming Michael Fletcher moments during that. But yes, here you go. I'll be honest with you. Going into this match, I was expecting this to be, a showcase squash fight for the Acclaim, to be honest with you. But, with the Iron Savage, it was mainly because with the Iron Savages getting a non-televised entrance, it felt like it might be a squash match at first. It would have been surprising for Tony Khan to book them to look strong, to reestablish them in the tag team division. But this ended up being a highly competitive bout. Both teams had their own moments to shine. And while this was definitely designed to make Anthony Bowens and Max Caster strong, Baron Bronson still had a great showing. The Acclaim got the win with a double famouser as an homage to Daddy Ass Billy Gunn. Not having Daddy Ass with the Acclaim just felt, in a word, wrong. Bear walking around holding Caster and Bowens was an impressive display of power, and Caster lifting Bear up for a slam was a great moment for him. The announcers did a good job playing it up as a big feat of strength. I'm with MF on this one, 2.5 to 3 stars. I'll go as far as to call this the sleeper fight of the night. I was expecting it to be a squash match because of that non-televised entrance, but this ended up being far more entertaining than it had any right to be, honestly. I thought it was going to be a squash, but no. Iron Savages actually came to play. So there isn't much more to say here. Michael Bullock, no surprise about the outcome. We all knew the Acclaim was going to win, but wow. Iron Savages actually hung with them. I'm shocked. I was expecting a squash here.
Yeah, going into this, I was thinking this was going to be a squash match, but no, this turned out to be far and away better than what I expected. So, yeah, not having Daddy Ass out there it just felt wrong. I mean, but the Acclaimed, they were good without him. So we'll see if this momentum definitely continues for them. So, a sleeper fight of the night, I'll give it 2.5 to 3. So let's move on, Fletch.
Next up, we had was Mercedes Martinez and Diamante versus Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, and it was Mercedes Martinez and Diamante winning the match in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Anthony, it's yours.
Same time on that?
8:45. Yep, 8:45.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yep. Another 2.5 to 3 on this one, and yeah, decent match, but it felt like something was missing. Maybe they were holding back, or maybe there was a chemistry issue. Whatever it wasn't enough to keep this from being enjoyable. It's been great to see Diamante getting more time in Ring of Honor and AEW lately. She is such a great talent and can add so much to any roster, and I know that because I know who Diamante is. I best remember her when she was a part of that the most recent incarnation of one of the great stables in TNA Impact Wrestling and one of your all-time favorites, MF, the Latin American Exchange. She was an intricate part of that, in the later years, and that's how I first remember her. But yeah, and Mercedes Martinez lifting Willow Nightingale for a fireman's carry slam was impressive. And while it was a cool spot, Martinez powerbombing her own partner into her opponents at ringside almost ended in disaster. Diamante got lucky or adjusted at the last second to land better. But nonetheless, Here's another surprise for me. I'll be honest with you. I thought that Willow and Statlander were going to go over here, but no. Martinez and Diamante, by hook or by crook, they got the win. And who knows? Maybe this feud's far from over, because I believe next week Willow Nightingale and Diamante are going to go one-on-one at the legendary Rupp Arena in Lexington. So on next week's Collision. So we'll see how that plays out. But for right now, another 2.5 to 3 stars for this. So Michael Bullock, first we had that surprisingly good match with the Acclaimed and the Iron Savages, and now a surprising outcome. Like I said, I thought Statlander and Willow were going to win here, but no. Mercedes Martinez and Diamante, by hook or by crook, get the win. So Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, by hook or by crook, they definitely got a big win here, and I'm with you. I mean, I was thinking Will Nightingale and Chris Statlander were going to go over here, but somehow, like you said, by hook or crook, a huge win for Mercedes Martinez and Diamante. And now next week, Diamante is going to be going up against Willow Nightingale in one-on-one action. So we'll see if Diamante can continue that momentum from tonight. So I'll give this about another 2.5 to 3. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, I'll give it about another 2.5. I thought it was a solid match. Really nothing more to say there. So yeah, we'll just move right on along. Unfortunately, we got a couple of cutouts here. We had Andrew Everett versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe wins in 1:25. Nothing more to say there. Then we had Luchasaurus versus Brock Anderson for the TNT Championship. Luchasaurus successfully defending the title in 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Again, nothing relevant to talk about on that part. Now we're in the main event of the evening, the 6-man tag team fight. Trio titles on the line. House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Buddy Matthews. Officially engaged to Rhea Ripley over the weekend. He made it official. He put a rock on it. Well done, good sir. Well done. They went up against FTR and CM Punk. Winners of the bout. 27 minutes even. And still, the AEW Trios Tag Champions, the House of Black, they won it all. But there was a little bit of some chicanery because Samoa Joe showed up and choked out CM Punk with the Coquita Clutch.
Coquita Clutch, Bullock.
Well, all right. Michael Bullock, you lead off on the main event. We all were thinking maybe new champs. Nope. We all got this one wrong.
Bullock, are you there? Oh, there.
Yeah, we were thinking like there was going to be new champions, but nope. Thanks to Samoa Joe and the Coquita Clutch, that did not happen. And the House of Black took advantage of it, and that's how they are still the Trios champion. And the thing is, Fletch, you even said that you thought there was no way CMFTR were gonna win the titles, and you were thinking that perhaps because of the Young Bucks, but no,
I did not.
it was because
I did not think I should have known it was gonna be. I thought wrong. I knew they were not gonna win the titles. I thought it was gonna be the Bucks that was gonna screw it over, but I had no idea it was gonna be Samoa Joe.
well, and remember what Samoa Joe said after them his match. He wanted. He kept saying he wanted a match with CM Punk at All In, and he hasn't been getting the answer. So he thought by maybe putting the Coquita Clutch on him, that could maybe finally get CM Punk's attention. So we'll see what happens sometime next week. So, what was the time time of the fall on that, MF?
27 minutes even.
Wow, that's a good amount of time for this, but I'm gonna give this 4.5 stars. I mean, I'm not gonna go the full 5 because, well, there was a little bit of some interference from Samoa Joe, like we already talked about here. But yeah, all in all, it was still a good match. So yeah, so we'll see what happens, and CM Punk's not gonna be happy about it. So 4.5 stars. Like I said, I'm not gonna go the full 5 just because of what Joe did. So it's yours, Fletch.
I will say this. Not everybody loved this match. I know a lot of people kind of, there was some people that really enjoyed it and thought it was excellent. But then there's some people that thought that the match was all over the place and it wasn't that good. I will give you 4.5 to 4.75. I'm not going to give it the full 5. I think it's not worthy of the 5. However, it was fight of the night. It was an incredible main event, and it served its purpose. I mean, I think the ending was left to be desired. I think that's the best thing to say. But as far as it being of everything else, I agree wholeheartedly. I think everything was a great action. There was great body of work. The story was told really well. I think the shocking outcome of seeing Joe come out and costing Punk the fight adds another layer and another thing to the rivalry. But as far as it goes, I mean, it could have been anybody else in that situation, and I would have felt the same way as I feel right about now. So 4.5 to 4.75 is my rating. It does not get the full 5, like Michael Bullock agreed with, and it wasn't just because of the ending. I felt like there was some points in the match where it was a little plotty, and it was good in certain elements, but it wasn't like the greatest thing that we've seen, even though it was fight of the night. But that's all I'll say about that. So, Floyd, what's yours?
Fight of the night here. With two trios like this, anything short of a good match seems almost impossible. Everyone got to play to their strengths and work together to put on a fun and physical main event. Samoa Joe showed up and brought CM Punk into the crowd to choke him out as Brody King hit a huge lariat on Dax Harwood to get the pin and retain the titles for House of Black. This was a good way to set up Punk versus Joe while also giving House of Black the big win. Jim Ross was brought out to be a commentator for this match, and he had a ton of travel issues, but somehow he made it there in time for the main event. Thank goodness for that. Every member of the House of Black feels completely unique, but also feels like part of a bigger whole. They are an awesome stable, and AEW should keep them together for a long time. Trading chops with Brody King is dangerous in two ways. It hurts to get hit by him, but it also hurts to hit him because you are basically chopping a walking fridge. And at some point, we need a good singles run with Buddy Matthews. That guy has too much talent for AEW not to capitalize on it. 4.5 stars, fight of the night, no question about it. Overall review time.
Solid show. I'll say about 8.5 out of 10. The only reason why I'm not giving it any more higher, there was 2 dud fights. I kind of feel like the Samoa Joe fight and the Luchasaurus fight, ain't much to do about nothing. It was still, there was, the tag team fight early in the night was pretty good. But the biggest thing that really wrote it home and gave it the almost maximum points was because of that trios fight. Other than that, I mean, this show was a little bit somewhat forgettable, except like that main event really brought it home and establishes why AEW Collision has become, I would openly admit it, probably their best show in the AEW lineup. And you could even make an argument for them to possibly be one of their better shows in all of professional wrestling right now. it kind of gives you that old NXT vibe when Triple H was running NXT, the NXT Black and Gold. That was at the time better than anything in professional wrestling at the time. And I feel like Collision is on that trajectory right now as well. Other than maybe a couple of shows, the show continues to thrive and do really well. This time around, they kind of took a little bit of a step back. Not a major step back, but it was a noticeable step back nonetheless. But still, 8 out of 10 is my rating. Anthony, it's yours.
Agreed. I just had it for a moment and it disappeared on me. All right, just give me one moment here. Okay. I'm with you on this one, MF. It was definitely worthy of the 8 out of 10 rating. Collision almost feels like it has a completely different pace than Dynamite, even though both shows are from the same company and air for the same amount of time. It's kind of impressive and gives Collision its own unique feel. Tonight's show did a lot of table setting for future matches, but we also got a couple of fun encounters along the way. The main event, obviously the fight of the night, obvious highlight, but the Acclaim versus Iron Savages and the women's tag match are also both worth checking out. Ricky Starks has really come into his own over the last few months, and it feels like being put into a program with someone on CM Punk's level, put him into a sink or swim situation. Thankfully, he has been navigating those waters like a pro. And even though a couple of matches were nothing special, it didn't feel like there was any wasted time. Every segment served a greater purpose, which is a good thing this close to back-to-back pay-per-views. So 8 out of 10 is my rating. Michael Bullock, you take this home, and then we'll let MF set the table for the big three because it's getting on crunch time for them.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for this edition of Collision. I mean, yeah, there were some things I thought that could have been better, but all in all, not really that much to complain about. So, 8 out of 10. So, Fletch, if you're ready, let's talk about the big three.
It is put up or shut up in the big three. Week number 8, Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. And this is it. The final week of the regular season. 4 games, 8 teams. By the end of tomorrow, we will find out who is the final 4 in the big three, and it is massive. Tips off at 12 p.m. Eastern on CBS on the mothership. It will be the Killer Threes against the Ghost Ballers. Then at 1 o'clock, this is highly anticipated matchup. The Triplets, head coach by Lisa Leslie versus Power, head coach by Nancy Lieberman. This is a big showdown, to say the very least. Then the third matchup will be the Enemies going up against Tri-State. And then we round out the Sunday slate with Trilogy versus the Ball Hogs. Now, the reason why this is huge is because of the rankings. The right now, the standings as it stands. Killer Threes, Triplets, and Trilogy are all 5-2. The 4th place team right now is Enemies. They are at 4-3. Ghost Ballers are at 4-3. Ball Hogs at 4-3. Power at 4-3. It all comes down to point differential more than anything else. Killer Threes right now leads all teams. They got the most point. They got the best point differential. They are right now the number 1 seed. Triplets are number 2. Trilogy is number 3. When it comes to point differential between the remaining teams, Enemies are 4, Power 5, Ball Hog 6, and Ghost Ballers are 7. The only way Tri-State can get in, they would literally have to pull the inside straight. Enemies would have to lose. Power would have to lose. Bullhogs would have to lose. And then they would have to win their game in order to at least get a shot at the playoff. If Triplets, Trilogy, and Killer Threes win, they're in. They go to Washington for the semifinal, one step away from the O2 in London for the championship game. So that is what we're looking at. That is the breakdown. My goodness. 2 games on CBS at high noon. We tip it off with Killer Threes and Ghost Ballers. And then at 1 o'clock, it is Triplets and Power. Those games will be on CBS, on the mothership. And then you can watch the remaining games, Enemies and Tri-State, Trilogy and Ball Hogs. Those games are going to be on Big3.com. So with that said, that is it. We're out of here. We do it all over again on Monday with Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. And until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. And so long, everybody.